Hello, everyone. Um, I always really like to do these code challenges called Advent of Code, where in the beginning of December you get one puzzle a day to solve. And I thought it would be interesting for people to see the thought process of how you do it. So that's why I figured I might as well live stream every day that I solve it, and then you can kind of see along with the thought process. I think it could be something that you could learn from. I certainly would think it could be interesting myself. Um, so I guess let's begin. Here we go. We've got the advent of code, and I will be solving these challenges in Python. So here on the left-hand screen, I have PyCharm open. As you can see, I already made a, a project map folder and an input map, and I put a git ignore in. It's also all in my repository that I can put a link to in the description. All right, let's get to it. I will start by making a Python file. I will call it Advent of Code 01. Okay, there we go. So this is day one. It's called Sonar Sweep. Well, let's not read through the whole thing. Let's see, there's some story, some backstory, and here you have the first example that you can use. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, and I will add a new file. I'll call it, let's see, 01 example.txt. I will put these in. All right. Okay, very good. So now I have an input file here, and I will need to first load it in. Before I even continue reading it, I think I should solve this first. So let's see, each line. These are lines. Each line is a measurement of the seafloor depth as the sweep looks further and further away from the submarine. Let's see. So these are like scans. Well, the way I'm going to be loading these in, as you can see, every input is on a new line. So let's see, line for line in input. Sorry, file input should be open. Sorry, file input 01, the wrong slash, 01 example. All right, so what I'm doing here is this is called list comprehension. So this is like a for loop that's already within a list. So let's see if it has loaded the way I'd like. It has not. What? Oh, running the wrong file. All right, nice. Looks good. Let's read split lines. So this is a trick to remove the new lines that were still in it. I'm not sure if you saw those. So now the data looks quite clean, except for the fact, so it is in a list. This is what I want, of course, except for the fact that they're still all, as you can see, they are now strings, and I want them, of course, to be integers. There we go. All right. Okay, it's loaded correctly. Let's continue reading. This report indicates that scanning outwards from the submarine, the sonar sweep found depths of 199, 200, and so on. First order of business is to figure out how quickly the depth increases, just so you know what you're dealing with. To do this, you count the number of times the depth measurement increases from the previous measurement. Right. How many measurements are larger than the previous measurement? Let's see. It's a good measure. I'll put it in here. Well, I'll have to go through you know what, I'll just call these, well, scans, why not? For measurement in scans, actually doesn't work. For I in the length of the scans file. So now I just create a loop that counts from 0 to, see, 10 or something. And I'll take the values and I will compare them. So I will go scans I. Let's see. To compare this, it has to be larger than the previous. So it scans. So here we've got the previous one. And now scans I, the previous one. So if this one is larger than this one, let's see, okay. Then what? Then we'll put a count here. 0 now. Count plus is 1. Print count. Let's see. So the idea is that I compare this value from the previous value. Of course, at some point I'm going to run out of range. But it says here sorry, are in the range of this length. So now it should work. Yes, nice. Very good. So we have here a total of 7 measurements that are larger than the previous measurement, which is correct. So let's look at this puzzle input. Right, very good. I will save it in the input. Yes, very good. 01 input.txt. So if I will run it on input, there we go. Get this value. Make it a little prettier. Let's see. F measurements larger than previous. was unnecessary. Also measurement. Okay, let's submit. This is correct. Nice. Okay, on to the next. Okay, now we have a tree measurement sliding window. Okay. Let me put this down. Yes, I start by comparing the first and second tree measurement window. So now I have to add up the tree measurements. It's funny, by the way, that I didn't run out of the index. Kind of expected that. I would have expected that I should have done this, but somehow it was not a problem. I'll just run this again. Well, I'll reset the count here, so it's fine. I can keep using count, I guess. However, this time I have to, let's say, the sliding window. Then I have to add up this one plus the previous. This one plus this one plus this one. Plus 1 plus 2. So these are the scans. It doesn't like this at all. Why not? And resolved reference. That's right here, isn't it? Let's see if it doesn't run. It does not run. I'm surprised. Let's see, for iron range. Maybe it doesn't like the fact that I'm using the same twice. You know what? I'll make a new file. I'll make it, call it AOC01B. There we go. I'll just load this in there. And this. So there can be no overlap. Can go. Okay, we'll continue on this one. Same error. I'm loading in the scans here. You know what? I'll use the example input again. Be easier. Oh, great. Okay, that was a problem. There was a colon there. So this runs. I now get all these values. Very nice. Still quite surprised that this does not run into trouble with the range, but fine. And I have to compare it to. So I have here a range. It's the sliding window of these three. I have to compare them to these three. Okay, so let's call this window A. I'll double the line, call this window B. And I'll move everything up 1 down. And then I compare these two. So if window B is larger than window A, count plus is 1. So add 1 to the count. Print the count. See what happens. The list index out of range. Finally. I think I should subtract 3. But, yeah. 5 sums larger than the previous sum. But just out of curiosity, what happens when I put 2? Yeah. List index out of range. No idea why that didn't happen before. Because then it should also have been out of range. Strange. So we're getting 5. This is the correct answer. So let's try it on the actual input. Well, it's looking good. Very similar value though. Let's see. It is the right answer. Well, there you have it. We have solved Advent of Code day 1, A and B. Okay, I will upload these solutions, and I hope you have learned something. I've only now suddenly realized that everything might have been a bit small. Could have zoomed a bit. Maybe this one could have been a bit smaller. Well, lessons learned for me. So I guess the input that you could get from this is, well, this is a very nice, I hope you agree, way to load up this data and to clean it up as well. It is a bit like there's a lot in one line. Sometimes people criticize this, but I think it's quite clean. You can see here I split on the how do you say, the new lines, and then here I make sure they're integers, and then I can work with this data. Okay, I hope you learned I hope you liked this, and well, see you at the next video. Thanks, guys.